Okay guys, today we are going to talk about AI literacy. And today, now I'm a little bit nervous and because I didn't sleep well last night, but I'm not the only one person who will feel nervous because I designed some interaction to you. So you might feel nervous later, maybe. So firstly, I will give you a story about it. So I just chat with my friends last night, and he's currently working full time in James Roos Agriculture High School. Have anyone heard of this school? Yes. So they're doing exceptional in HSC, and they have achieved the first place once in history. And he complained about me that he had in few weeks he had to finish 180 students writing report, and also he had to mark all the students yearly exam, and also he also have normal teaching load as a full-time teacher, and he said he cannot even sleep if he has that kind of working load, and he's not using AI right now, and he's considering using AI. So what this story tells us is that don't go to James Roos High School if you don't want to work too much. No kidding. It actually is using AI is inevitable in work for a teacher. Actually, not just me making up the story. It's a real story, and actually 60% of teachers have admit that they are. Is it working? No? Okay, no problem. And 60% of teachers have admit that they're using AI in their work. And if teachers have reduced the administrative working load and those lesson design or those creative activity thinking to engage students, they can actually using more time to build a relationship with students. So as the first group said, when the AI comes, students more willing to use AI, and so their interpersonal skills might reduce. So building the relationship with students might increase the students' interpersonal ability. So that's a benefit for this, and so and also. So if we need to use AI in our work, and our students will definitely use AI in our work, then we have to learn about AI literacy. So what is AI literacy mean? It means how AI works, and how the usage of AI, and how to spot the bias when looking at AI context. And also it's necessary for students to use AI in the future. Why is that? The first group have give us some example, and I also find some data. There's a normal distribution here, and the y-axis, I'm a math teacher, so the y-axis, the x-axis is about the performance of the students. We found that comparing to the normal teacher ratio, it's average in New South Wales, average around 14.2 students with one teacher in public school. If the student can access to one-on-one tutor, they can achieve much better than with more students with one teacher, and which means that if student can achieve above average, they can be exceptional. If a student is below average, they can become above average students. That's a great learning opportunity for students. But we also need to be aware that I've read a report. It says that it's from official document. It says that if the potential, if the data or the privacy of the student being violated, then even we have to sacrifice the learning ability. We still have to do this, because protecting the student's privacy is the most important things, and protecting the student. So why we need to protect student privacy? we don't let the legislation do these things? Why we just rely on the school rules or school-based system? I've read that we can look back from history. So when we go to the industrial evolutionary at that period, and demand of the goods boost, so the factory actually hire a lot of have child to do the work that they should not do, and the child are being exploited, being raped off, and they have to work extra long hours. But the factory prefer them because they are easy to control, and they don't know much about the rules. So that's the reason why we need to teach our students how to about the AI literacy, how the AI works, so they can control AI rather than just being controlled by AI. And so now my partner Tldt A is going to talk about how AI works to spotting AI error.
Yeah, hi everyone, my name is Tldt A, and in this part I will explain how AI actually works and spotting the errors. So about AI literacy, it's about understanding the logic behind them, recognizing that AI doesn't think, it follows patterns in the data. So how AI works, there's a process from training, prediction, and generation. During training, AI reads through large data sets, books, websites, and images to find a set visual relationship between works and visuals. In prediction, maybe it learns to guess what should come next based on those relationships. And in generation, when we type a prompt, it uses these patterns to create new content, a paragraph, a piece of image. And so, find different answers each time. So you might want to know why AI sometimes gives different answers even when asked the same question. That's because it just always chooses the most common next word. It occasionally picks a less expectedly one to sound more nature or creative. For instance, if you ask explain photosynthesis in a simple text, so what do you think it will respond as? One response might start with plants use sunlight to make food, and the other might begin plants convert light into chemical energy. So both of them are correct, but phrased differently, showing that AI varies its answers through small random choices. This makes AI helpful for creative, but also means its responses are not always consistent. Something we need to explain to our students. And then there's something important we need to know. The first one is AI doesn't not think like humans; it follows data patterns. And the second one is it can make mistake or miss context. So, for example, it may misread the tone or intention of a question. So, we should always double check information before using it, especially in assessment or important teaching. So, by the modeling this habit, checking, questioning, and verifying, we show students how to think critical rather than accepting AI output blindly. And now, let's talk about how to recognize when AI goes wrong. That phrase sums up is perfect. When garbage in and garbage out. If the data going into AI system is poor, biased, or incomplete, the output will also unreliable. For example, if AI theories is trained mainly on data from one culture or linguistic concept, it might be struggle to interpret or assess information from other contexts. So how can we reduce this error? The first one, we need to validate data source and watch for bias. Check where the information comes from, ask whether the output seems one-sided or oversimplified. Use diverse high-quality data for training. So, these steps remind us that AI is only as fair and accurate as the data and the humans behind it. So let's sum up. AI works through training, prediction, and generation, and and it doesn't truly understand the meaning. which is why it can make mistakes or produce biased results. And when we see those errors, the cause often lies on the data cells, garbage in and garbage out. Recognizing that helps us guide students to use AI more responsibly and critically. Now, I will get the last one.
I forgot to mention one thing that from back to the Industrial Revolutionary, and the first issue happens until the legislation or regulations keep up. It takes 19 years. So 19 years, we don't have the and actually it's not just happens and with a very perfect legislation system. It actually happens in different industry, so develop with time. So we need to be aware that maybe there's not enough system or school rules to support us as a teacher. But what we can do to improve AI literacy and teach ourselves and our students how to wisely use AI. And so now I'm going to talk about using AI ethically in school. How we can reduce the risk is we know about the risk. So firstly is privacy violations. I think we have heard of this a lot. Usually usually it's okay to use AI to write some email, write some like public things. But I have another story. So it's a practice student working a law bank, and she said I'm going to write email to my boss. I'm typing my boss name, full name, my boss number, and so we'll put them in. So it's easier for me to write a full message and just copy and paste easy. But actually they will cause privacy violation things. So what can we learn is don't put the real name, don't put the real name of the student, and better not the other student data that might cause trouble for you. And also for the bias and discrimination. And this means that actually AI is being trained by a lot of data collected from the real world, but this data sets might be biased, and the things its output, it also can be biased, and also because the lack of transparency, because as the first group said, it's actually a black box when decision making. So the data is biased over here and put into a black box that is we don't know how the AI makes the decision, but it's going through a lot of complicated things, maybe including the user's profile, maybe including the conclusion or something, and then it output content over here. And so we cannot over reliance the content that AI provides. So over reliance is another risk for using AI. And let's give you an example. Who would like to get promoted if they start working, or wants to promote? You want to promote, okay? So as AI, just ask the same question as AI. So how would you do if you want to get promoted? And AI would define you as like around 20 and female teacher, and what the answer they will provide you is you may begin to build a strong relationship with your colleagues, and you seek for mentorship and ask for your supervisor for advice to how to get to okay, yeah. Would you agree with what do you think about the advice?
I guess so.
Yeah, I guess so. But if it's a male user, it would say search for more research to show the upper management your work. So it assumes that a male user is assertive, confident. But for female, it's just a supporter. Okay, so how we use the AI wisely. We always think AI with so we need so there's QR code over here, and you can just scan QR code to see how to put the right things to AI to improve your to improve the content you want. Yes, thank you.
So,
Do you have any question?
Yes.
Yes, please.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, I want to touch on the over-reliance. So, what do you think is an adequate amount of AI use as a teacher, for example, in creating resources or writing up a assessment notification or detecting for plagiarism, that kind of stuff? Like, what would you define as over-reliance versus just the right amount?
I think the key idea it's from you. That's the most important thing. What do you think?
I think I will use it for example sheet for like decrease my working load or some existing sheet like this.
So it just when you have an idea in your mind, and AI is the way to make your idea implemented. So, but the key idea should be yours, and you have to. And also, there's important things. You make your professional judgment into the idea. That's very important. For example, once I use AI and I said there is a fun Scenali. Scenali, have you heard of use Scenali? It's a website used for interaction with students. It has a very vivid website, and I said, oh, that's a looking good, and it looks fun, and I want to design it as a Monopoly game, and so I can engage students, and but I said this looks good, and asked AI I can do this. AI said yes, and it will look fun, and it provides the advice of how to adjust it. But when I asked my professors, and he said no, because it will not allow every student to show their learning outcome to me. So that includes the professional judgment from my professor. If AI, they would just agree with what you say and maybe adjust your idea a little bit usually. So that's about the over-reliance. Any other questions?
What is a key takeaway message that you have for us?
Key takeaway message means we need to learn how AI works, and how to use AI, and how to spot a bias from your AI. We need to be aware that we need to make our students be aware that that's the key takeaway. If you have that concept in mind, then you can develop the ability you want. But firstly, you need to have the concept in mind. AI literacy is important for all of us. Yes?
So do you have a favorite framework or source, or maybe like some sort of training that you've seen for AI literacy?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I didn't see an official. But I think for each school they have some weekly teaching meeting, and they will discuss about this. But I don't think the system. I'm not sure if they have the system, but I think most important is we ourselves be aware of this. We can learn from searching on the internet. We can use AI to learn about it, and you can scan this QR code. Teach us how to get a more reliable content by using AI.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't see a very specific system about how to teach AI, but I think we can put in our class. Because, for example, I'm the math teacher. I can put the how to use AI to solve the math question in the class. For example, pretend you are professional math teacher, and how to teach me this question step by step. We can teach students how to use them in our daily class.
And I think there's a tutoring website, and they're designed for. We can actually model the teacher, a modern student to use those tutoring. So it reduce the possibility they use like open AI that would not protect the student's privacy that much. Thank you.
Sorry, I
Should
don't
we
think
go?
I pressed record.
Is that okay?
But this one.